Hello, happy snowpocalypse. Today's build with me is this 60165, the 4x4 response unit from 2017. This set is part of the Coast Guard collection set from the early 2010s. It has 347 pieces, and like I said, was from 2017. And I have almost the entire collection of this sub-theme. So we're going to start with this one to put it together, and let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to see what's in the box. Here's the box as normal. Got a new camera angle because I have to find a new camera arm that will mount to my desk. So we're going to work with this one today, but I have another one coming in the mail, so don't worry. So as usual, here is the box. Very nice design. The box is a little beat because, like I said, this is a used set. So we have the full set on the front, which including the important thing my son is interested in, which is the octopus. And then on the back, we have all of the features that it will show us, including the back of the vehicle, the boat, looks like some water bottles, and a buoy, and a truck. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Alright, we got our bag of pieces, as usual. And a boat, and 1, 2, 3 books. So yeah, that is what's in our box. So we'll put the box here for now, so you can remember which one we're building. And as usual, we will separate our pieces and get into building. Put the manual there. Ooh. Great thing now is got a new longer desk and a wider desk so we can hold more pieces. We don't have to worry about dropping them on the floor. So, kudos. So as I was saying in the beginning, sorry about the camera angle, the old desk had a space between the wall and the end of the desk, which was just wide enough to fit my camera stand, but this new one does not. It goes all the way just about flush against the wall, so it doesn't actually stay. So I went on Amazon and I looked for a new one, and I'm going to order it in about a week or two. And then we'll get our original orientation back for as best we can. But hopefully I can still utilize the width of the camera so you can see the entirety of the new desk. But our good stripe towel is still here, so something old, something new. Haven't borrowed anything, but there's some blue. There's a boat. In, I forgot what color this is. You can see this is olive green. Checking our, what do you call it? Our elements, Lego element colors. It is olive green. And we got some minifig pieces. A bunch of black, some nice new tires. So like I said, this is a used set, so when I got it I had just to inventory all the pieces. I never actually built it. I went through all the pieces and made sure they were in the bag in preparation of building it. So these aren't separated by the bags. Maybe I should do that like in the future when I'm sorting through stuff, although a lot of the websites that show pieces for these sets don't actually have them separated by bag. It's just what's in the set. Although that would be interesting if there was a site that had them separated by what's in each bag, so they can be repackaged and you can rebuild it just like you just got it out of the box. I'll have to do some Googling to see if that's actually a thing. I have a feeling it would be. Yeah, so we're going to keep the orange in the boat. A little bit of green. There's a flat silver right there. And then we'll put all of the transparent into the windshield. Alright, just about done. And some yellow, some life vests. It's interesting. And only one dark tan. Alright. So the good thing about the new desk, we have the shelf up here that I can put instructions on. And we can build from there. So let's get started. So obviously we're going to start with our diver minifig, who is our victim. And of course he's got the zipper on the back of his wetsuit, so you can zip up his suit for him. There we go. And let's see, he's also got a nervous face. Just a little nervous, but I think we'll have him have a happy face for right now. Oh, wait, almost forgot. So this setup here, especially with the air tank, the scuba air tank, is based off the piece that they made back in the late 90s and early 2000s from a subset of town known as scuba, or a diver set. And that is by far my favorite theme of all of the Lego sets. And it was very well done and detailed down to like a lot of the stuff that you would use if you were a diver, down to the boats, down to the submarines. Like it wasn't a little over the top like Aquazone was, as if it were like a space set. And they had new sharks, and they had new undersea creatures and helicopters, and it was one of my favorite sets when I was themes when I was younger. Let's see. It's also supposed to have a camera. Ah, here we go. Camera. There you go. There's our diver. So we'll put him up here for now. Alright, we're also going to have one of our Coast Guard guys. And I like these new Coast Guard uniforms with the hoodie jacket open over the Coast Guard icon, as well as the Coast Guard icon on the back, which is really cool. And let's see, we need a smiley face. Haha. And his baseball hat with his tip brim hat. And this is interesting because like these guys have a Coast Guard uniform, whereas in the Coast Guard set from the 90s. It was just kind of like a policeman's outfit, or it was red with some pockets across the white pockets across the front. All right, and then we have our octopus, which needs no interpretation or extras to it. So yeah, we'll put that up here. We'll build our victim's boat first. So first we're going to start with the motor, which is here somewhere. Where are you? No, here it is. So I haven't built a boat in a while, at least in some of these newer ones, and considering this set is from 2017, interested how they're going to do motors for some of these boats, because seems to be missing a piece. Let's see. No. Did I put it in a different color? No, here it is. Because in the 90s, your motor would be a back end piece that would hang off the back of your boat, which was just a 4x4 boat. And then they would have a fork with 3 prongs sticking down like this. And it would be on a hinge like this. So it was a very good interpretation, at least in the early sets for the 90s, of what an outboard motor looked like, so you can push it back into the water. And then when you put it on the trailer or pull it out, it would fold back in and the motor would stick up, like a normal outboard motor would be on a boat today, which is kind of neat. But they did it with so little pieces. It was maybe 4 or 5 or 6 pieces, depending on the boat that you had. So it'd be kind of like something like this, only a different kind of hinge, and then definitely a clip like that, and then the fork piece would hang off the bottom. And then this is actually interesting because they didn't do this. This has a little stick so you can direct the motor left or right if it were on a rotation. But this one is on fire. Ah! So there's our boat. I'm going to put that to the side. In fact, I'm going to move the box over here. Put the boat there, and that'll be the ones that we've completed. Put the rest of our instructions under here. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to start our vehicle. We'll start with the subframe as we normally do. And so far the color combination is sticking to the colors of the Coast Guard vehicle. As I said, I think in the beginning, it's very interesting to have it. I like this new Coast Guard sets because, at least from the 2010s, because of the color design. Originally, the one in the 90s was blue and white as the main color, and I think the addition of the orange was a really good idea, just to make it stand out. Because the way it was before, it seemed as though they were more of like a police section of the police, but they're not. And the Coast Guard says from the 90s, a lot of the alert colors for the lights were red and blue, which made them seem like police. But I think the way that they're using them now, at least in this white and blue and orange kind of motif, gives them more of a like lifeguard rescue group specifically for the water, which I really like. I think I said this the last video. I'm really interested to see who decides that the subframe should contain, you know, green, orange, which you can't really see the orange from the outside, and brown. You can just pick whichever colors you want for your subframe. Some cooks on the sides. It could be steps. I think these would be steps. I'm not sure what this part is. Get some fenders on here. And back bumper. And our one dark tan color. And then we're going to put some parts on the back for the back lights and stuff. A little more green. Okay. One, two, three. Here we go. Cool. The area for our cab, I guess. I'll put in some fender arches. And then I'm also glad that at least back in the, they're still using these kind of doors for the cars. I think these are the best design for the cars. Don't take up a lot of space. Also, back when these started to be six stud vehicles, I even moved putting the steering wheel to the left because here in the USA, we drive on the left, and you can still fit 2 minifigures in here if you put them in the right way. All right, add some more fender flares. Boom. All right, so we're gonna put these together. I guess these are gonna be the headlight holders. It's gonna be interesting. I've never done it this way before. But hey, I'm all down for new building techniques. Why not? And we're gonna add another row on top. Like this. Cool. So this is the end of bag 1. This is what we're looking at so far. So just a subframe in the bottom half of the truck. Alright, on to bag 2. So let's see. I'm going to work on, looks like, the cargo area of the truck. Got some clips on the side to hold either tools or antennas. And then some windows, which I had to ideally associate to airplane windows. This is what I normally see them in. But back with the diver sets, these were also windows that they would use for the submarines as well. So very versatile. Cool. And then what also is interesting is they still use some of these techniques where they use this stopper rail for either a rest for the minifigure to lean against in the car, or in this case it's used to stop whatever is in the back from falling forward against the driver. Old techniques die hard sometimes. Also, this is around the time when they started doing a lot of the, well, not started, but they're continuing to do the side view mirrors. So I really like the idea. This is very different from when we did 4-stud vehicles. But now that you have a 6-stud vehicle with side view mirrors, it turns it into essentially an 8-stud vehicle. So it's a lot bigger than you thought. Also, what's interesting is they had this whole area in here they just capped off. They could have put like a motor in there, like some of the new stuff from 2026. You can actually tip the front of the car over or lift up the hood, and you can work on the motor, which is a really good feature. This is something I've been saying for a long time they should have been able to do. All right, and our grill like this. Oh, and I also like the license plate features. They have the number of the set on them. That's a great idea. Kudos to Lego people, whoever came up with that. Oh, we're going to do some lights. So let's see. An orange one. And a clear one. Oh, it goes in like that. That's cool. So you still see the turn signal and the headlight. That's really cool. I like that idea. Never did one like that before, and I hope they do more like this. Give it like a whole Jeep feel if you look at the front from the front. So, cool. I like that. And then we need our windshield. And our little side view mirrors, which are actually just clips on the one stud. And we need our hood. So like I said, this is a used set, so it came with the stickers, but I reapplied the sticker onto the hood because I'm pretty sure it was crooked. And that's the great thing about the newer stickers they're designing, is that they're able to come off and be reapplied after so many years of being used. Alright, we need some off-road lights to add to the top. There we go. And some squares on the top to even it out. And then a roof for the back. There we go. Alright, so let's talk about the light bar for a minute. So, as I said previously, the previous Coast Guard setup, the lights on their vehicles were red and blue to act as though kind of like a police figure. But these are just orange, which I don't think conveys enough urgency. Like if this were coming down the road as part of a lifeguard for rescue stuff, you'd just have 2 amber lights and you'd think it would be a tow truck. So I think what I'm going to do for my alterations for this one is change one of these to blue and keep the orange and blue to make it seem like still important but match the motif, but not be complete like police or fire department. And then a roof for our truck, which I'm also going to put the minifigure in now because I think it'll be easier. Sitting on the left side, and the roof. Cool. And then what else we got left here? Oh, work on the back bumper here. The other thing I'm going to alter is that instead of having the turn signal on the outside and the brake light, I'm putting the brake light on the outside. Because as someone who deals with lights in automotive, sometimes I do know the law is that there should be red lights on all the corners of a vehicle, or the rear corners of a vehicle here in the States. But still have the turn signal on the appropriate side so you know which way to turn. And let's see, got to work on a bumper here. Let's see. There we go. And rear license plate. Cool. Alright, these clips on the side are for a big antenna, which is awesome. Brings you back to like the 90s off-road kind of look. And a walkie-talkie. And then some wheels. I need to put some wheels together. For this, I'm going to be using the this style instead of this style because I think it matches the motif of the truck pretty well. So just based on the design, it looks like at the end of this book, which is the end of book number 1, which is just the truck, it looks more like a Jeep. No back door, so it's open air like most Jeeps would be if you're working on the beach. And great off-road tires and lift. Plus the big antenna is a major plus. So, digging this so far. There we go. And our little victim. Alright, on to book number 2. Alright, which would be bag 3. So we're going to need our diver, our water person. Now, really quickly, a life vest. So this is like the 3rd or 4th iteration of the Lego life vest. And this one is a lot thinner. The original ones from the 90s were a lot bigger and looked like the life vest from the 90s, where it was like an inflatable wrapped around the neck. It was big, and it was round, and then they had it on an angle, which is a really nice design. It looked really good to what it was. So I guess as life vests have evolved, so have they evolved in Lego. And our Coast Guard rescue person, this lady, does not have a Coast Guard logo on her person, but maintains the colors, which is awesome. And she has a pair of binoculars, so she can look on the water for anybody who is drowning. Cool. So we'll put her up here. Alright. Oh, cool. We're going to build a buoy. Alright. Like this. Yeah, buoy. And, oh, wait a minute. Use our flat silver piece. And then we need a white. And a little thing on the bottom. Alright, so these little pieces they use for things to slide across carpet better, but this is a really cool idea because granted, on the carpet, I mean on the blanket, it looks like it sits, but if I put it up here, it bobbles around a bunch like a real buoy does. That's a great idea. Yeah, so that's our buoy. Cool. Alright. let's put our boat together. So again, use set. Stickers are already applied. I may have already reapplied them because just the way they were put on before wasn't even. And we're going to put some more of those pieces on the bottom, so when you're playing with them on the carpet, it'll just glide along. There you go. Alright, we'll work on some motors in the back. Some rear walls, it looks like. Oh, I'm missing one piece. There we go. And some arches. Cool. And I wonder what these glides are for. That's what it looks like right now, along with the steering wheel. It goes in the end. And then we're going to add these on here, which looks like they're going to hold, probably going to hold the cage on in the event it tips over or hits something. To mount the cool boat speakers too, if she gets bored. And our new Coast Guard logos, which look like this. And since we're talking about the Coast Guard logos, I will say with the new Coast Guard sets that came out for 2026, I'm not a huge fan of the design. Simply because the boat and the hovercraft look a little overdeveloped, like cartoonish scale to me. I also don't like the color choice. It looks like a hot orange or a red. I like this normal orange, and I like that they keep with the orange, the white and blue motif, as they did with the ones in the 90s. But that's just my preference. I mean, the boat does look interesting. It has a place to land a helicopter and a deployable small craft. So you can take my opinion with a grain of salt if you like. There we go. We'll be able to put something on the front. And then, let's see. And something's going to mount here. Oh, this is another cool thing. They put in some detail, so they're going to be able to let us add some gauges. Oh, hang on, I forgot to put the lights on there. I skipped a step. Oh, I did. I forgot the lights. So obviously our red for the left and green for right, or red is port and green is starboard. And as I said, the addition of gauges is a good detail I really enjoy. Where did the other one go? No, here it is. So the gauge is here on the front. With the two little circles on it. We'll go right on the front. So they have it set up so you can stand and stare and look at the gauges, just like you would in a normal speedboat. And a little windshield. Cool. Alright, and on the sides for tools we have a bullhorn and walkie-talkie and 2 lifesavers. Cool. 1 on either side. And also 2 giant antenna. Because in real life, that's what this boat would be. Now, I think this boat is a little big for what it is. Like, the scale might be a little off. But then again, this also does remind me of a fireboat we had in my town growing up, although I do think it was about this size. But if we're going at this would also have, they had one with wheels on it, so it would like pop down and drive down the road to the boat ramp when it had to go out to save somebody. Alright, so looks like we got a mini build here. Okay, this. Alright, oh, these are motors. Cool. Alright, build another one too. And a propeller. Oh, that's so satisfying. That still works. Alright, motors go on the outriggers here. Cool, just like in real life, they rotate up and down. Cool. Alright, so, oh, we got another one. Alright, we got, like, again, we had our left and right colored lights. And this looks like it's got the little radar on it, so it's like a tiny conning tower. You know, like, so yeah, like I said, since it's Coast Guard stuff, I'd probably change that orange light to a blue light. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, and then we just need to build this here box of tools, which looks like it's going to hold 2 water bottles, like that, and a fire extinguisher, and another life jacket. Cool. It's going to sit in the front. Cool. And there's our boat. Oh, wait, forgot. There we go. There's our boat completed with the 2 motors. Little top view. And with these slides in the middle, I wonder if we could take the tools and slide them in here. Oh, we could. Look at that. So we can get extra tools in here. Cool. Cool. Alright, let's put the boat up here. Alright, last one is our trailer to carry the boat. And this is bag number 4. A lot of space for this trailer. Oh, also the it says a trailer ball on it, which means that the back of the truck has a hitch right here, which is really interesting because previously I was playing with our city with my son and I realized that the coffee trailer over in the town has a ball on it as well, but we don't have a vehicle that has a hitch on it. So he was saying when he builds this, he'll be able to help the coffee guy move his trailer around because he's got a hitch. Very thoughtful of him. Okay. And there's another row of these. And some rubs in case it's on an angle, so it just slides across the bottom or the carpet. And looks like this gate's to prevent the boat from falling off, probably. And it's on the back to hold the gate on, and some turn signals, and some brake lights. Should have it up. Here it is. Alright. I'll add some side pieces on here. We'll say this is a substantially larger trailer than most trailers I have built. Most of them are definitely not 6 wide, I will say that. At least to carry a boat. Normally you would have like a space on the boat trailer for it to be just sitting on a stud instead of like all these captures. It looks like just the thing on the back. There's a gate on the back, I should say. Cool. And looks like some holders on the sides. Keep the boat from falling off. Flip it over and I use our last orange piece on the bottom. Looks like we're adding the axle on for the wheels. And then I'm not sure what these are for. Oh, forgot this one. These look like skis for a snowboard. Snowmobile. Ooh, excuse me. And then the stabilizers for when the trailer is not connected to the truck, which I really like this idea. This is awesome. Previously, like on old 90s sets, it would just be like a clip, and it would just rotate it, and it would just hold it up. Then these fake box covers, because they don't actually have tools in it, and you can't open them. But it's a good idea. Ooh, bless me. And another use for a chair. More than one use for a chair. Probably hold the front of the boat from falling off. Wait a minute. Something's missing. Let me go back to the axle real quick. Ah, forgot one of these to go on the bottom. Cool. And then just gotta put some wheels on. Oh, and this part, no, that part's on there. I have an extra one of these. Very possible I miscounted when I was putting it in the bag. And there we go. That's our trailer. A lot of room there. We got our truck. Back our trailer onto. Click. And then our boat. Oh. Wow, that's something pretty snug. Cool. And then we obviously have our boat, our trailer, our buoy, our dude. There's truck and a little victim in his boat, and our buoy with box and our 3 instruction manuals. Oh, hang on. There you go. That's the whole set. Cool. Cool. Thanks for doing this Build With Me video. Thanks for putting this together. Again, this is our first Coast Guard set for our new city. It came out really great, and I would enjoy seeing this on the beach. Do some little alterations to it, but yeah, it's pretty good. Thanks for watching this Build With Me video. If you enjoyed it and we're building along, great job putting it together. Leave me a comment with what you think this set is like and how you like it and how well this Build With Me format works out. And stay tuned for more Build With Me videos. And we'll catch you next time. I did find that gray piece that I found at the end of the video was an extra piece, so that's okay. I'll go with my extra piece pile.